good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in beautiful San Clemente. We're so glad you're here with us this crystally, sparkly morning. Here in the sanctuary, we're glad you're here, and out there in cyber world, hello, thank you, welcome for being with us. And we'd like you to join us on our sing-along song, so please arise, either at home or here with us, and sing along with Chelsea, who's our song leader for today. The song, I'm Choosing Heaven, or Chocolate, or whatever you want.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Love, I'm choosing love today. Well, I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. Beauty, I'm choosing beauty today. I'm choosing beauty today. Well, I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing beauty today. Peace, I'm choosing peace today. Well, I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing peace today. Heaven, I'm choosing heaven today. Oh, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Well, I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. Last time, I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Whoa, yes. And why wouldn't we choose heaven? I mean, why not? You have the choice. You make your own heaven and you make your own hell. Well, we do. So, on that note, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, in beautiful, sparkling, as Diane said, San Clemente this morning. Delighted that you're all here today. We're safe, we're secure. I'm glad to see all of you out there in cyberspace. I see you. I see you. And whoever you are, and whatever spiritual path you're on, you're welcome here. We call this home. We are a inclusive center. We preach love. We preach joy. We preach acceptance. So welcome, welcome home. We're going to start our service with the flames of faith, as we do every week. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Faith Mackey lights that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you to this service this morning.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. So we're going to do a prayer together. So just relax and settle in and just feel Spirit that lives and resides within each and every one of us. Feel that connection. Feel that energy of Spirit that is right here, right now. So Spirit is everywhere present. Spirit is pure love of the purest form. Spirit is joy beyond measure. Spirit is love and joy and peace and harmony and abundance and prosperity. Spirit is all that is good. Spirit is everything perfect. And so what I know is that this is the truth of who I am. This is the truth of each and every one of us. And so I know that today is a brand new baby day, a brand new baby week, and a brand new baby year. So we have the opportunity to allow Spirit to work through us as us. We have the opportunity to say yes to Spirit. We have the opportunity to allow Spirit to use us for the good of us and the good of everything in this world, in this universe. So I know that today the message that Reverend Alice is going to share with us today is a powerful message, that there is something to take away for each and every one of us, something good, something that sparks us, something that inspires us, something that makes us just say, yes, yes to Spirit. And I am so grateful for this opportunity to allow Spirit to blossom through each and every one of us. I am so grateful. And so, with a grateful heart, I allow this to manifest and to take form. And I anchor it by saying together with all of you, and so it is. Okay, so now I'm going to read the affirmation. So I'm going to read it first, and then we'll read it together. I see inspiring beauty everywhere I look. So together, I see inspiring beauty everywhere I look. And so it is. Okay, so now I'm going to read the Declaration of Principles. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect Spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to create health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now and I rejoice in it. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faith. It's beautiful. And now, please welcome to our platform. I heard her practicing. It sounds so wonderful. Please welcome Roz Espinito. Espitito, sorry. Espitito.
Espacito. But it's all good. It's all good. We're all one. I'm all of those names, right? Good morning. And good morning, cyber folks. So how do we get to that place where we get everything we want? How do we get there? A little bit of this, a little bit of that can make life better. That's a fact, this I know. Tell you why. 'Cause a little bit of love, a little bit of joy can make a happy girl or boy. Yes, it's true. Why don't you and me explore just a little bit more? Ooh, la 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 la. And a tiny bit of trust can open up a heart and bring a bunch of sweetness that is off the chart. This I've seen, and a teeny little smile can brighten up a day, take away the sadness, make you shout hooray. This is what I'm living for, just a little bit more. So take what you've been given and stretch it out just a little bit. La 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 la. Ooh. La 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 la. So take a little time every little day, make a little change. A big change will also be okay. If you must, if you leave me in the dust, I'll be fine for sure. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit more. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit more, a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A little bit of stage moving around here. We'll get it all set up. Good morning. And good morning to you in cyberspace. I don't know if I like that label, but I think it fits, right? You sitting at home in your pajamas, feet up, coffee in your hand. With some of us, I wish I was still in my slippers, but I'm here with you this morning. My name is Reverend Alice Reed, and I'm your spiritual director, and I'm happy to be here with you today. And we have a new day, a new year, a new you, a new me. Thank you very much, Mary Casa, for the hair. Feeling good, feeling really good. I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited because we have a lot of great things that are going on with the center as we begin to move towards February. We'll have a slow liftoff. There's a lot going on out in the world, so we'll start classes in February instead of January this year. And our first class is Basic Skills for Living an Authentic Life. Does that sound juicy or what? We'll be looking at 9 spiritual principles, and then we'll be pairing them up with 9
spiritual practices, and it'll be a really great opportunity to dive deep with our philosophy. The other thing that's coming up in February is I'm going to start a class, Living My Life Purpose, and it will be one Saturday a month. There's no, that's not on the e-news yet or any of our announcement boards yet, but it'll start in about mid-February. And we will be working with a lot of the same principles from Principles of Financial Freedom, but we're going to carry them into an opportunity for you to decide how you want to use them in your life. So it'll be one Saturday a month for 4 months. Fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. And then this month, we are diving into this amazing, wonderful, year-long theme of living everyday wonder. And I can't think of a better way to ground us in this idea of living everyday wonder, but to start with looking at the basic principles that our philosophy teaches. And so we're going to be looking at those first 4 chapters. Some of you have been around this block before, but I think it's a great way for us to really get ourselves centered as we start the new year. And so those 4 chapters, today we'll talk about the thing itself, and then next Sunday we'll have an opportunity to hear Reverend Judy talk about the way it works. Then the following Sunday, we've got a treat for you. I'll say more about this in a minute, and we'll talk about what it does. And then we have 5 Sundays this month, so the 5th Sunday we'll do how to use it. And what I know about those 4 chapters, the thing it is represents absolute intelligence. And the way it works represents absolute law. And then what the results of that, the manifestation, is what it does. And then we get to talk about what's your part? What's your part? How to use it? Holmes writes this in the Science of Mind textbook. This trinity of being appears to run through all nature and all life. And he's talking about those first 3 chapters, the thing it is, the way it works, and what it does. And he's referring to it as a trinity. He says, for instance, there is an electricity, the way it works and its result, which is light or locomotive power. There is the seed, the creative medium of the soil and the plant. Every great religion and every great spiritual philosophy has taught this trinity. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost is the Christian Trinity. And I would add that even the Eastern religions, if you look at Hinduism, they have Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. And Holmes goes on to talk about our trinity of the thing itself, the way it works and what it does. And he says, it is the thing, the way it works and what it does. The thing is absolute intelligence. The way it works is absolute law, and what it does is the result, manifestation. So, I mean, this is the core of what we teach. This is the real meat and potatoes, if you want to look at our philosophy and how you can walk it out in life. This month, we're really going to look at that. And I said I was going to tell you a little bit more about January 23rd. We're going to have a panel, and we're going to take your questions. And so your homework is going to be to go home and read that 3rd chapter in what it does, and to come up with some questions that come up for you. We're talking about manifestation, and that's usually where the bigger questions happen, right? And so as you're reading that chapter, I encourage you to inquire, to question, to what is it that's puzzling you? What is it you want to know? And so we'll have a couple of ministers up here on the platform, and we'll answer those questions. We would like them a little bit in advance, and if we have time, we'll be able to take some questions that day. And so we'll ask you to either you can drop your questions in any of the baskets where we put our offertory. You can email your questions to myself or to Mary at the office at cslcv.org. You at home, feel free to put your questions in the Facebook chat. We'll next week so that we have them, so that we can do a little preparation for you. Because I know there's there's a lot of things that are coming into question. We've got a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of things that make me press in, lean in, and to really look at our philosophy to see what it is that it means for me as I am moving through the world of condition. And I imagine you have that same kind of inquiry. And questions are important. You should question everything. You should question everything. I will be worried about you. You shouldn't take anything at face value, except maybe red lights. Take red lights at face value. But I want you to question everything else. I want you to inquire. I want you to say, is this what I really believe? And why do I believe that? And doing that questioning is going to take us to a deeper space, a deeper understanding. I love to work with this model called the Kingdoms of Consciousness. And some of you are familiar with it. It's a model for how we deal with consciousness. And I'll start by saying consciousness encompasses everything. Like everything we experience is created first in consciousness, and then it comes into form. So everything's created twice. And so the kingdoms of consciousness are an opportunity for us to check in with ourselves and see where we are. How are we relating to this thing itself? And so that first kingdom typically talks about this idea of not really feeling in charge of your life, feeling like life is done to you as opposed to having license in your life. And so in that idea of questioning, that's the kingdom of, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Kingdom 2 is a place where we begin to relate to spirit and the world and the environment around us. We begin to relate to it more from a place of empowerment. That's the place where we have the ability to really make a difference in the world, and we feel like we're movers and shakers, and we get a sense of our own worth and being able to express that. And that's that place where the world feels like it's done by me. And in looking at this idea of knowing, I would say that's the kingdom of, I think I know what I don't know. I think I know what I don't know. When we look at this kingdom 3, this is the place where we begin to have a deeper surrender with the power and the presence of the world that is moving in us, as us, and through us. That's how we relate to consciousness. And this is the kingdom of, I know that I don't know. I know that I don't know. This is the place of empowered humility. I'm going to put it that way. Empowered humility. We get that there's an infinite resource and that we always have the ability to tap into it. And yet there's this deep abiding faith and trust, and yet there's this humility that we are connecting to it, and we are trusting it, and we're surrendering to it, and something almost magical seems to happen in that kingdom, because it takes a lot less effort to do all the really cool things I was doing when I was relating to God and the thing itself from Kingdom 2. And of course, Kingdom 4 is that place where we come into as me, and we can come back around to the idea of I know that I know. And while this way of relating to consciousness may seem hierarchical, it's really a spiral. And we're always moving in that spiral of, I don't know what I don't know, I think I know what I know that I don't know, and then I know that I know. So it is the building of our faith that we do as we move through our relationship with all that is, the thing itself. And to live in everyday wonder. To live in everyday wonder is to really know that there is a power and a presence that is moving in you, as you, and through you. Holmes' quote says so beautifully that God can only do through us. God can only do for us what it can do through us. And it needs us in order to express itself. It needs us in order for its creative process to move through us and be present in this material world. And so when we're looking at this thing itself, it is that life force. I love this idea of the thing that makes the grass grow. The thing that makes the grass grow. I can decide whether I want Kentucky bluegrass or a fescue. I can choose the seeds. I can nurture and cultivate the ground that I plant those seeds in. I can design the environment that I want that grass to grow in. But I do not have the power to reach into that seed, to crack it open at the perfect time, mind you, so that the plant can move its way through the soil and be in front of us as a wonderful lawn of grass. I can't do that part. That's not my part. That's God's part. My part is to create the environment for that seed to blossom and grow and flourish. And so when we're talking about the thing itself, we're talking about the thing that makes all possibility possible. New Thought has sometimes been characterized as a teaching of positive thinking. However, I would tell you that if you are under the impression that positive thinking is what we're about, you're missing the real juice of our teaching. Because our teaching is not about positive thinking, it's about possibility thinking. It's about how to cultivate that possibility thinking so that it can really have its way with you, it being the thing itself. And when we are living from possibility thinking, it's more than that positive thinking where we're trying to convince ourselves that we can do something. We know. We embody truth. And it is through possibility thinking that lives change, that the world shifts. It's so much richer than trying to convince myself of something. It's that third kingdom of I know that I don't know. And the second kingdom of I think I know what I know. And even the fourth kingdom and the first kingdom, it's all of it put together so that we can be the vehicles of creation through possibility thinking and through allowing ourselves to begin to open up to greater possibility in our lives. In the chapter of the thing itself, as you look through it, Holmes has a couple of points that he brings up. He talks about the universe never playing favorites. You may have been in a position at one point where you had a prayer that you were working with, and it took a while. Maybe you didn't see the realization right away. And yet, you know, Sally Jane comes skipping into the sanctuary on Sunday, and she's talking about all the things that are happening for her. And so it can appear that God favors one prayer over another. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that the prayer is more ready to reveal. The prayer, the person who is praying, has cultivated their soil or the law or the consciousness that they are creating. And so they have had a quickening of their own revelation. And so at the level of the thing itself, it's just always saying yes. It always says yes to all of the things that we want. And it is the soil within our minds and our consciousness that needs to be ripe and ready. And I have found that when I have had a prayer request, when I have taken something to that spiritual mind treatment and affirmative prayer, and it hasn't come about yet, usually there's something else that wants to come through first. Usually there's some other piece of the puzzle that I haven't revealed yet. And so Holmes is very clear that there is the universe never plays favorites. And I love this line from the chapter. He says, there is a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. Think about that. It honors our faith in it. And if I am looking for something to shift in my world or my consciousness, yet I really don't believe it, well, I'm going to have an I don't believe it kind of experience until I can develop and cultivate my faith. Holmes talks about this idea that limitless power is always available to us. And I think about that, in the earlier quote, Holmes was talking about electricity. Electricity does not work unless I plug into it. I can't put the toaster over there and have the outlet over there and wonder why the bread isn't toasted yet. I have to bring the electricity to it, either with an extension cord, maybe classes represent that extension cord, or I have to bring the toaster to the electric. The electricity is only as powerful as the utility, if you will, that we give to it. And so it is up to us. And electricity, when you think about what electricity does, I mean, it can be used for wonderful, amazing things. It's also the same medium that is used to, to empower an electric chair. Electricity is neutral. It has no care to what it's going to locomote. It gives us the ability to use that power in whatever way we choose to. So it's limitless, and it's always available to us, but we have to plug into it. Holmes goes on to say that all thought is creative. And here's where it gets really tricky, because sometimes we're not aware of the ideas that we might be walking around with. Sometimes we might not be aware of the wiring in our subconscious. Anybody else do something that they wish they hadn't done and you hear yourself saying, gosh, I'm so stupid? You're not stupid, but there's some wires in there that caused you to pull that out of your subjective and the words just cross your lips. That's the kind of, and sometimes it goes really deep. And our work, in order to really be that clear vessel for spirit to move through us, is to find the crossed wires and to make sure that we're plugged in, to make sure that that we're clear, to make sure that the beliefs that we're holding in the subtle, subjective mind, which is also consciousness, our piece of it, is clear and flowing freely, and is it congruent with what it is you want. The final point that I want to bring from the chapter is that the road to freedom is not mysterious. It may feel superstitious. Oh, if I say I'm stupid, or if I say those words, then I'm creating that negative thing. Well, it's not superstitious. It's very scientific. We are working with spiritual laws that are no less consistent than scientific laws. We're working with principles that always consistently move through us as we are the vehicle for creation. And so to step back from that place of thinking that it's some kind of mysterious thing that's happening around us, it's no different than fish. If you think about it, if you were able to communicate with a fish and you said to them, what is that liquid you're swimming around in? They'd probably look at you like, what? What are you talking about? Spirit is like the air around us. And we don't, I'm looking at you, but I really cannot see the air. However, if somebody turned a fan on, I would see the air. I would see the demonstration of the intangible principles that air uses. And so when we look at spiritual principles, they work the same way. They work the same way in that there are principles about circulation, there's principles about creation, there's principles about attraction. And anytime you find yourself being able to recreate something and get to the core of what it is you're recreating, we're talking about principle. That's what we're talking about, the reproducible. So it's not that it's mysterious, but it's that we haven't raised our awareness to it yet. In the class that I'll be teaching in February, Basic Skills for Living an Authentic Life, there's some material that is in it, and there's a little story about the dimensions of life. And suffice it to say, if I could just sort of encapsulate that story for you a little bit, the author talks about picturing the infant in the womb, maybe days or weeks before it's born, and you ask it the question, where is your mother? And if you could picture its face, it might look a little quick, like, what's a mother? What are you talking about? All my needs are met. I'm so comfortable here. It's like, I just, if I'm nourished, I'm cared for, I'm protected. What is a mother? And what does it look like? And do I have one? And I want to say that the thing itself is like the mother in that example. It's like that thing that is so all around us and meeting every need that we could possibly have. But sometimes, if it's, if the garden hose metaphor, I'm using them all this morning, aren't I? The garden hose, if I step on that hose, the flow stops. And so our job as we begin to dive deep into these ideas of the thing itself and the way it works and what it does, is we look at the Holy Trinity, if you will, of Science of Mind. Our job is to stay curious, to ask questions, to say, do I really understand what that means? You can read along with us in the Science of Mind, the daily readings for the first month weave in and out of those first 4 chapters, so you can read along if you like. And I know that we are ordering about a dozen Science of Mind texts, so if you don't have one yet, there's a couple in the bookstore, but there's more coming. This is a really wonderful and rich time for us to begin to invite a deeper understanding of these beautiful principles that many of you may have been practicing for a long time. And this may be new to you. And if you are new to our movement, if this is the first time you're hearing about this philosophy, come along for the ride this month. I think you'll learn a lot. And my hope is that you'll discover, like Dorothy did at the end of The Wizard of Oz, that the power has been with you all along. Thank you very much. So let's pray. Do that amazing spiritual technology we call affirmative prayer. And so I know as we walk more deeply into January and 2022, as we continue to stay open to what is ours to do, that we are grounded and centered by this philosophy, that as we move forward together as a community and individually, that we are empowered by this teaching, that we are empowered by this philosophy, that we are empowered by these practices. And I know that no matter what is going on in the world, that we find spirit in it, that we are able to open our spiritual eyes to look out into the world and to see God everywhere we look. For I know that it is God's great glory to give us all of the kingdom. And so I know for each one that we are great receivers, receivers of truth, receivers of love, receivers of beauty, receivers of understanding and clarity, and that we move forth in this year of living everyday wonder and in this month of diving deep into basic principles, knowing that what is ours comes easily and that we walk it out gracefully. It is with a surrendered and grateful heart that I speak this word, that I know this truth, and that we say together, and so it is. Thank you. And now I want to bring Roz Esposito back up.
Thank you for that wonderful talk. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, people, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on this magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when we're way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Unbelievable sights, undeniable feelings, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. And don't you dare close your eyes, hold your breath, it gets better. I'm like a shooting star, I've come so far, I can't go back again. A whole new world, with new horizons to be seen. I'll chase them anywhere, there's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world, that's where we'll be. A dazzling place, a whole new space for you and me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Roz. That was beautiful. Absolutely. Ah, it feels so good to be here. I've been gone for 2 weeks, and it just feels like it was months. It's just weird. It feels good to be back here, back home. So it's time for our offering now. So if we would like to take your gift in your hand, put it on your heart. We don't pass the baskets. We have a basket by each door here and at the back of the room for your donation. And if you are at home and you want to go on our website, cslcv.org, you can make a donation there or just simply mail a check to the center. And thank you so much. So let's do our affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Thank you, Judy. And for today, our offertory song is a special piece that features our wonderful guitarist Ed Cusby on his Portuguese guitar. It's a beautiful piece called Amar pelo Dois. And if I mispronounce the Portuguese, forgive me.
Oh, Ed, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to Bill Dixon. And Diane, would you introduce our guest drummer?
Yes, our guest drummer today is Tony Barbarossa.
And thank you for joining us this morning. And of course, Diane King Van, our wonderful music director and choir director and everything. Thank you to Chelsea Van for being our song leader this morning, for Mary and Dave in the sound booth, and for Clark on the camera. We love you all. It takes a village to present you with this fabulous service every Sunday morning. So we're so grateful for everyone. We have some practitioners available to you today 2 will be on the back tables here, and 1 will be at the welcome table out in the front of the sanctuary. Now, a practitioner is a person that Reverend Alice spoke about this morning, the one that knows what the thing itself is, divine intelligence, and sees the truth in you and your situation. So they're trained in the art and the science of spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer. So our practitioners today are Faith Mackey, Cheryl Lyman, and Hans Smith, who has been holding the high consciousness high watch for us today, knowing that this service unfolds perfect in every way and that you're receiving everything that you need to go forth this week. So we thank you. So please avail yourself to these wonderful practitioners. And now we have some invitations from Chelsea.
Good morning. Oh, I'm stuck here. Alrighty. So, today, right after the service, Conscious Connection will meet here in the sanctuary, and it'll be a chance to discuss the messages that we heard here today. The Wednesday morning book study is going to be meeting on Zoom from 10 to 11:30 a.m. The book that is currently being studied is called Conversations with God, Book 2. Please feel free to join the group any Wednesday that you're available. And again, that meets on Zoom. Shifting Sands meets on Thursdays, also on Zoom from 10:30 to 12:30. And this group takes turns presenting a topic for information, inspiration, and discussion. Everyone is welcome to participate. If you're seeking a way to feel more connected and supported, this may be the group for you. Coming Home to Spirit is another support group led by Joyce Fournier that also gathers on Zoom, and that meets Friday mornings at 8 a.m. The nice thing about these Zoom meetings is you can come as you are, and we can just have a pajama party that goes the whole week long. There are still a few spiritual journals for 2022 that are available in the bookstore. So if you haven't picked one up already, get one and keep starting the year in the best way. Classes with Reverend Alice will begin again on February 1st, and this class is an accredited Science of Mind class titled Basic Skills for Living an Authentic Life. The universal principles taught in this class are applicable across all walks of life. This is a great way to introduce people to the philosophy in a non-threatening fashion. There will be a Tuesday morning class that meets in person, and then a Thursday evening class on Zoom. And we have sign-up sheets available that are back on the kiosk, and you can also sign up at our website. It's a new year, and it's a new you, and it's a new us. So, are you interested in being part of a dynamic leadership group devoted to the good stewardship of our center? Yeah? Yeah. Nominations to the Board of Trustees are now open. There are 2 positions on the board that are opening up this year. New members will be elected at our annual membership meeting on February 27th. For more information, please see Marge Hobbs, who is our board secretary. And for more information or to get an application or to just find out a little bit more about what our board does, please reach out to her. You can take one home. We do have that available, and you can read it over. The applications are due back to Marge or to Mary Brogdon by February 4th. So lots of good stuff happening. And now, if you will please stand and join me in our closing song, I See You. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. One more time. I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. Oh, I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. One more time. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are.
And so I know as we go through this week, we indeed see light everywhere we look. I give great thanks for this. I know it is done, and so it is.